What is up, my people? Nick here from Real Driven, and today I'm super excited to talk to you about something that has dramatically changed my life for the better, and that is how I manage my time in college and how I've been able to increase my productivity and get a lot more done. So, people ask me a lot, Nick, how are you able to, take care of your academics, work with a startup company, run your Real Driven business, do podcasts, do all these different things? And, truthfully, it's not easy, but it's 100% doable if you have the right processes and systems in place, and that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'll literally be going through the sheets I use and sharing them with you so you can download them and use them yourself. But I'm going to be covering three main topics, and the first is how I plan and manage my schedule. The second is how I organize my tasks so I'm spending time on the right things. People have these task lists that are this freaking big, but are they really useful tasks that are moving the needle forward and getting you closer to your end goals? Probably not, honestly. It's all about being productive versus being busy. And the third thing is all the productivity tips I've learned over, my lifetime, honestly, just from my coaches, from reading, mentors, YouTube, and trial and error. These are the things that work for me and how I'm able to stay extremely productive throughout my week. So I'm super excited to dive into this with you guys, and I'll see you on the other side of my screen. First thing I'm going to start off with is how I plan and manage my schedule. I have a pretty meticulous system I use personally, and it involves Google Calendar, but there's a bunch of different ways you can obviously plan out your week. I have friends that use planners, and if you're going to go that route, this is one I highly recommend it. I used it for a few years, and it pretty much had everything I needed. It has, your weekly priorities, your daily priorities. You can time block by every 30 minutes. It has your personal to-do list, your habits, a little area for notes over here. And then in the front and back, it also has more pages for notes, which definitely come in handy. I have friends that also, they use their phones. They literally use the app in their phone notes, and they write out their weekly schedule. I personally don't recommend that. It's pretty unorganized. But for this video, I'm going to be going over Google Calendar and how I use it and how I integrate Calendly and Zoom into it. It's super, super awesome. So the first thing is you don't want to just start throwing random stuff into your calendar. You're going to want to start with the non-negotiables. And for me, that's the yellow right here. This is class. It's any meetings you have, any appointments you have, or anything that happens at a specific time and date. You're going to want to put that into your calendar first. For me right here, that's class. That's these red meetings, podcasts right here, coaching call, things like that. And then from there, I schedule in the things that are pretty high on my priority list, but they're also flexible. So for me, that's the gym in the mornings, and that's also my nighttime evening routine, which I actually don't have it on here, but it's right here, unwind time. Those are things that they rarely change, but they are a little more flexible, so I throw those in there. Next, I put in my time blocks. If you haven't read the book, The One Thing, I highly recommend it. It taught me so much about productivity, and essentially what it talks about the most is focusing on one thing and carving out an hour to 3 to 4 hours where you can really focus in with no distractions. And that's right here, these little blocks, power list tasks. Those are my 5 most important things I need to get done for the day, and I schedule a time where I'm uninterrupted, where I can focus in on those. So that's these right here, boom, boom. I definitely, I work them in kind of when I can. Sometimes it gets a little difficult, but those are the next things I schedule in. All right, so at this point, you should have all the essentials jotted in. And now what I like to do is I like to focus on, all right, what are some of the things that, I don't have to do these things, but there's something I really do enjoy doing. These are your passion projects, your side hustles, maybe building a friendship or just putting more time into a relationship, those things. So those are flexible things that you can kind of add anywhere in your schedule, but definitely schedule those out or, they just probably won't happen. Okay, so any of the remaining time you have on your schedule is you time. It's for relaxing. It's for resting your mind. It's for doing whatever floats your boat. I mean, Netflix, video games, partying if you want to, hanging out with friends, I don't know, whatever you want, but make sure you're not doing work during this time. Guys, I can tell you right now, I've worked 24/7 and I've integrated my fun and my work life together. And this is not only much more enjoyable, but you're not going to burn out if you do this. And yes, it's not always feasible to work this time in every single day, But if you can do it more so than not, it's a lot better than just working all day and then taking like one day to rest, in my opinion. You don't face burnout. Your body's going to need to rest. You're going to get sick, or you're going to have, you're going to be mentally exhausted if you just work all the time. So make sure you take some time to have fun in there. Another pro tip is if you're in college and you go out, make sure you have everything done before you go out. You're gonna have an easy conscience. You're gonna be able to really enjoy your time, and then also don't schedule anything the morning after. Just make sure you have that clear. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be mentally fatigued, and you're probably gonna be hungover. So that's my pro tip. And now we're gonna go on to the next section. Sorry, one more thing before I move on. I mentioned Calendly and Zoom. Both of those programs are easily integrated with Google Calendar, and they're both amazing. If you do podcasts, if you do like FaceTimes, it's almost Zoom is very similar to Skype, where you can have a video conference call and you can have as many members as you want. You can record the call, and like I said, you can easily integrate it with Google Calendar and share your Zoom link so the other person can join. They get reminders. It's amazing. The next thing is Calendly, which is another application that you link up your Google Calendar, and when you send someone your Calendly link, they can see exactly when your availability is. This way, if you want to schedule a meeting with someone, you don't have to go, yo, are you available Tuesday at 7 p.m.? They're like, no, I'm not. Are you available Saturday at 8 a.m.? No, I'm not. This way, they can see exactly when you're available, and they can schedule the meeting straight through there. It will show up on both yours and their Google Calendar. Makes life super, super easy. I do this for my podcast. I do this for my meetings. I do this just for calls when I'm networking. And I want to get to know someone better. So it works great. Okay, so this is probably the most important section in the entire video. It's about figuring out what tasks are going to move the needle forward, what are going to get you closer to your end goal, and what tasks you should delegate, push back, or just not even do at all. So as you can see here, on the left, I have the order priority. The top 5 to 7 are the things you must get done. These are the very urgent and important tasks. You really should not have more than 5 ever. Every once in a while, I'll get 6 or 7, which is why I made it a little bit bigger. But a realistic rule of thumb is to have no more than 5. And then over here, I'll have the date. I'll have the assignment for school. And then I'll have notes, other things I need to know about it. As you go down, these are the important tasks that you're going to need to get done eventually, but they're not ones that you need to get done today. Excuse me. This is going to be a little bit of a longer list. And then on the bottom, you have other tasks you could get done. They could add benefit, but they're not critical tasks. And it's very important to decide what are your urgent and important tasks. These are the things that are going to get you closer to your goal, things that have deadlines, things that need to get done. Okay, so you guys can have whatever tabs you want open. I have one for my business, my real driven tasks. I keep my Calendly link up here. And then under each one, I have a task, and then I have notes so I can elaborate on it. I have my personal brand, and then I also have projects over here. This is just my startup company I'm working with, tasks, projects again. And this is what allows me to stay very organized and not waste time doing useless tasks. Big, big, big help right here. Okay, guys, this is a little added bonus that I wanted to include for you. I'll actually share this copy of the sheet in the description for you guys to download and use. This is what holds me to my daily non-negotiables. This is what helps me form the right habits in my life. And what's so cool about this is you can have your whole team on here. You could just have some friends you want to help hold you accountable on here. You could have your family on here. You could have whatever you want on here. And then you have all your daily non-negotiables. So I'm going to leave mine on here so you guys can see them, so you understand an idea of what to include. But essentially, it has when I wake up, and then some of the personal development or habits that I'm trying to instill in my life. And then it's already set up. So it's the 17th. Yes, I woke up at 8 a.m. I forgot to drink my morning glass of water. I did journal. I did work out. And then this. And then what's cool is you can track how often you did all these things over time. And, really you can look back at the end of the month and be like, okay, yeah, I definitely need to work on, reading more before bed over here. Or, I really did a poor job preparing for the next day down here, which is really cool. You can track yourself. And if you have other people on the sheet, like I do, I share this with my entire Real Driven team. You can push each other and hold each other accountable and be like, yo, Teo, why are you slacking, man? And it really, really helps. So this is something that I do, and you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it does help. Okay, guys, last but not least, we'll be covering the productivity tips and tricks that have really been a game changer for me. These are small things that if you implement on top of everything else I showed you, they're going to make a big difference. So excuse me if I look down, I have my notes written out here so I don't forget anything for you guys. But the first one is going to be wake up earlier. Yes, I know it. You're in college most likely, and it's difficult, especially if you're going out, if you have roommates that are up really late. But when you start to shift your sleep schedule and wake up earlier, it will be a massive game changer for you. You're going to have more time in the day. You're going to have way less distractions to work in the morning. And overall, you're going to feel better about yourself and you're going to be more productive. Now, if you're not a morning person and you struggle to get up early, this trick may help you out. Try waking up just 15 to 30 minutes earlier every day for a week. And then once your body starts acclimating, do that again the next week. Do that again the week after that. And then eventually you'll be able to hit whatever target time that you're aiming for. For me, I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. But before, I was waking up around 9:30. And it took me, a month and a half, 2 months to get it to 7. But now I don't feel like my whole sleep schedule is messed up and my body is acclimated to it. The next thing is you're going to want to come up with a morning routine for yourself. I have a pretty in-depth morning routine that takes me about 30 minutes every single day. You don't need something as in-depth, but you are going to want to form one for yourself. This is going to put you in a proactive state in the morning instead of a reactive state. And, I'll make a whole separate video about my morning routine because it's been so helpful for me. But for you guys, just know, form a morning routine. How you start off your day is indicative of how your day is going to go. So if you start off with a positive outlook on life, positive energy, maybe some gratitude exercises, some meditation, something like that, you're almost guaranteed to have a kick-ass day, So that's been a big thing for me. The next is get your most difficult tasks done first. Your brain has more decision-making power and more focus in the morning. So get those hard tasks done, and then later on in the day, you can do your busy work or your bullshit assignments or anything like that when you're not as mentally exhausted. The next thing is time blocking, and time blocking is absolutely critical. And while you're time blocking, the main thing that you do is you remove all distractions. I'm talking about putting your cell phone on airplane mode. I'm talking about putting your headphones on, maybe putting on some alpha wave binaural beats or something like that. And even if it goes as far as like telling your roommates, I'm in my room getting something done so they don't bother you, do that if you have to. Another thing I do is every 50 minutes I stand up, I do my breathing exercises, and I do some type of movement to, reawaken my brain, get the blood flowing and everything. Because after about 50 minutes, you start going down a little bit in productivity. So every 50 minutes, wake up, rejuvenate, get going again. And I think that really, really helps me. I actually learned that from Brandon Burchard and Jay Shetty in a podcast. Okay, so the last main few things I have for you. 1, plan out your day the night before. Take literally just 15 minutes, go through that productivity sheet I sent you, and list out the main things you need to accomplish first in your day. This is going to save you a ton of time in the morning when you wake up. You aren't really sure what you need to get done. It's not outlined. You are just like, well, I guess I'll go to the gym, or well, I guess I'll start doing some homework. But if you're clear, you'll wake up with purpose. You'll wake up knowing what you have to do, and you'll save a ton of time. There's a book called The Perfect Day Formula that I'll link in the description. It's by Craig Ballantyne, and this is something he talks about heavily in the book. And once I started implementing it about a year ago, it's helped me tremendously. The last thing is delegation. You're going to want to delegate as many tasks as you can to whoever you have, whether that's a friend helping you, an intern, an employee, whatever it is. If you can delegate it or get it done while you're doing something else, that's the way to go. So guys, that was pretty much it. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone, subscribe, all that good stuff. And guys, I'm always here to improve, so please type in your feedback, give me your comments, give it to me straight up. It's all good, I can handle it, and let me know how I can help you guys in return. That's why I'm here, that's why I'm doing this, is to provide you guys value and help you to the best of my ability. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.